Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Breakout. As you can see behind me, I have automated an amazing thing and I think it's pretty cool. So let's go check it out. So as you can see, we are placing down stone, we are turning it into an ore, we're pulling it up and we're breaking it. And the identity annihilation plane should be breaking it with Silk Touch, but there is a bug and it I think can't be implemented without introducing or can't be removed without introducing a dupe bug, I believe, from the identity annihilation plane. So it's just not going to be Silk Touch, which is fine, which means that we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer for us to get Wub Gems. We got a single one, so we can complete this quest. We can also get an end rod going, but probably not today because I want to do some other things. But what I want to tackle today is the automation of these guys. And how we're going to do it is we're going to have an interface on top of a small storage crate with all the recipes for the different things. So what we're going to say, for example, in the recipe, if we go to our pattern terminal, we're going to go with a processing pattern, and then we're going to say 1 silicon and 1... I think I want to try making this way. 1 redstone, 1 gold, and what else? Gold turns into that, redstone turns into that, silicon turns into that. So that's it. And then we can grab a processor and say that this makes a processor. So what we're gonna do is, where is our applied Energistics cable? It's back here. Okay, so we have it here, so that's fine. We can put this interface here. I'm gonna put a torch right back there just so we have a little bit of lighting. Actually, it'll put it down here. So we're gonna put this pattern in here, and then we're gonna say this go on top of this small storage crate. So once we request, let's say a processor, if we take all of these out, you can see we have a crafting recipe, and I believe it's a middle click action. If I can get my mouse to middle click. No? There we go, middle click. So if we request 1, it's gonna export a gold, a redstone, and a silicon. And we don't have crafting CPUs, so we need to do storage, this guy, and we have another 16K actually. And I think I have co-processors. Let's just search for unit. That should find it. So where do we have AE cable? Everywhere pretty much. Let's just put it down here for the moment. I'm gonna do that. That should be fine. So if we request another processor now, with middle clicking, there we go, we can say next, and that should give us the 3 resources in this chest. So what we can have is a bunch of item conduits, and we can extract everything to its corresponding machine, and we can output the processor back into this crate, and we can just have, let's say, an import bus somewhere on the side or somewhere, and just import that back. Actually, we can just extract it directly into the interface. We don't need an importer or an import bus. That is obsolete. And that should complete us a craft, and we can just request, let's say, 100 processors, and it's just gonna go ham and do its thing. We can add acceleration cards into all of them once we have them automated, and that way we don't have to worry about having a setup where we say always keep 2000 of per processor. We're gonna have it a little bit differently. I don't think I have done it on YouTube this way. So what we need to do is we need to be careful where we insert things in these guys, because I believe they can only be inserted from the left and outputted to the right. And then each slot on the inside has a specific input. So for example, if we want to import the silicon up to the top, or the printed silicon, we need to have a cable over here importing silicon. So I'm gonna have to take a bunch of filters, filter a lot of things out. So I'm just gonna go do that off camera because it's gonna take me a while. I'm gonna set up some patterns and then we can see it fully functioning. So we have the Inscribers now fully automated with on-demand requests system. So we have all of the 3 circuits here. So for example, if we want, I keep pressing E to open up my terminal because I'm used to it from Stoneblock. So engineering processor, if we want, let's say 10 of those, we can request it and it should get completed. As you can see, we're gonna get 10 of each items in here. They're gonna get extracted. The diamond's gonna go in here. The redstone's gonna wait in here. The silicon's gonna go in here to get processed. And this is gonna get processed into a processor, get extracted, and that should complete one crafting operation, which we can see over here. and we're crafting 9 left. It is going to be super slow, a tiny bit faster once we get some acceleration cards. I have, I think, 3 somewhere in the system. Yeah, there we go. And acceleration cards, the problem is they require the calculation processor. So we need a few more automation systems before we can do anything. Let's just start 3 in here. I think that should be fine. Okay, so we need to automate pure Syrtis Quartz, which is, I think, the easiest way going to be with the phytogenic insulator, because that is going to require the Syrtis Quartz seed, this guy, which is Syrtis Quartz dust and sand, to be processed in the phytogenic insulator into pure Syrtis Quartz crystals with 3 buckets of water. So the water is not a problem. We have an ender tank right back there with a conduit putting water into this guy. We need a recipe for the seeds, and we also need a recipe to make Syrtis Quartz dust, which I have it in here. And for making the seeds, we need molecular assemblers, which we have 3 right here. And I have some interfaces that I'm just gonna snap from here, because I don't really need those just yet. So we're gonna go and set this up somewhere. I could possibly put it over here, but I'm thinking we use kind of like this area place in a way. So I would need an interface to be, I want kind of the most that I can get out of these. So I think I'll go with the checkerboard pattern, and each interface is gonna take a channel, and that should be 3, and if we do that, should be another 3. That would be 4, 5, and then 4, 5. We could do that, I guess, and have 4 molecular assemblers. It's going to be slow auto crafting, but at least it's going to be fine. So we need to get this hooked up to the system. So I need to grab some more ME conduits and just run the cable from up here. I might have enough, actually. If we just break into this, we probably should be able to see the cable right here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. So if we do that, that, and that, and we place just a block here just so we can get out. There we go. And then we just need to hook it up to this. I think that should just connect everything. One thing that I would also probably need is an interface terminal. So interface terminal, that should make us an interface terminal. Let's grab also a cable. I'm just using the green ones that I got from the quest. We're gonna toss it over there and grab also a facade and put it like there. There we go. So now we can see 3 molecular assemblers, the phytogenic insulator, the small storage crate. We can rename, I think, the interface to be like processor automation, because we might have more than 1 small storage crate. So that can be a thing. But we needed a recipe for the Syrtis Quartz seed. So seed is going to be sand and the dust. Why can I not see Syrtis Quartz dust? Oh, because this isn't connected. Right. Yeah, do that for the moment. So let's grab one of you. There we go. We can toss that over here, and we change it to the crafting pattern. We can get Syrtis Quartz seed, and we'll toss that in our molecular assembler. And then let's make us some Syrtis Quartz seeds. There we go. And then we're gonna say one of these makes one of these. And we can toss that in the phytogenic insulator. There we go. So now if we request a processor, if we request, let's say, 10 of these, let's do 20. Let's be a bit ambitious. It should toss like 20 seeds in here. Oh, I forgot a thing. Hello, wait. This thing requires glowstone. I think it's 1 glowstone per, so we need that to be this recipe. Whoops, this recipe, we're gonna, no, that's the wrong recipe. This needs to be this. And we can clear that and toss that in here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna just cancel the task here. I think it put the redstone, did it not? Oh, no, okay, cool. So it only put 18 seeds in here, so we're just gonna grab those and we're gonna request it again. I'm gonna do processor. It made us 3, yeah, that's fine. So do 20, start, and now we should be seeing this processing. It's gonna be fairly slow, and it's probably faster than the me dropping them into water with the growth accelerators. But at least we can increase the speed at some point one more time with using the resonant machine. We can also put, I think is a thermal, I think it's this guy. So if we make some iron gears and a machine or a device frame. So what do you do exactly? I think it improves the, you need cooling. So like water. Can I just use water? I think gelid cryothium works better, but what we can do is do this. Input on the back. I think you're gonna increase the speed of this. Cools down adjacent blocks, improving their speed, just filled with coolant and watch it work. Yeah, and it can be water and gelid cryothium. That's 60%, this is 20%. Okay, that's gonna increase the speed a little tiny bit with just water, which is fine. So that is pretty much it. The processors are gonna take quite a while to make because of the growing of the pure Syrtis. But for the moment, I think I can just request like 100 or so processors and be fine for probably the rest of the playthrough. I don't think we're gonna need that many. And the next thing that I really want is to set up some recipes for possibly making interfaces. So we would need these. And we can do Syrtis Quartz, not use the pure because that's gonna take 6 years to make. And then the other one is the Annihilation Core, which is also gonna use regular quartz instead of pure quartz. And we can toss those in here. And then a recipe for an interface. I wanted a recipe, not full-blown interface, which is fine. There we go. Oh, I have very little of these. And then we need an assembler recipe as well. Assembler. So for that, we're gonna require the same cores. Keep clicking in the wrong terminal. And a crafting table. Oh, quartz glass. There we go. Let's put that in here as well. And then do this guy. There we go. We also need a crafting table recipe. And possibly we need a recipe for planks, which is going to be just wood. Here. There we go. We can toss that in here, and that in there. And now we can request an assembler, or at least 10 of them. Nice. So that's going to take its sweet time. We have more than one CPU, which is really nice. So it's going to process the Syrtis Quartz dust, which is doing over here, which is kind of really cool seeing that. That is pretty much automation. We have assemblers now, which we can toss up here. And we need, whoops, we need one here, and then we need a couple more here, and a couple more interfaces that we can toss over there. And this is just regular ME conduit. I need to change that for dense because we're going to require full-blown channels over there on top. Since I have a little bit of space here on the side on both of the sides of the Inscribers, I decided to use this to make pure Flukes Crystals and pure Syrtis Quartz Crystals because we need the Syrtis for the processors, and the pure Flukes is just going to be a way for me to automate Flukes Crystals without having to drop things into water and also make charged Syrtis Quartz, which is kind of nice, I think. And the way I have this back here is you can't really see it. I'm just going to break this conduit for the moment. But you have a level emitter that is going to be set to 128 of pure Flukes crystals. We can increase this as needed. And then on the export bus, we have 3 different cards. No acceleration because it's not necessary, but we have a redstone card, a capacity card, and a crafting card. The redstone card will allow this ME export bus to be controlled by redstone signals. So we can tell this to be active with signal, active once per pulse, always active, active without signal, and so forth. The crafting card is going to allow this to request crafting operations, which, for example, the Flukes seed, if we look here, Flukes seed is a crafting recipe with sand and Flukes dust, so we can craft that from the system and request items. And then that schedule mode is just from the export bus. I believe the capacity card adds that, so you can export the first item, or you can use round robin or whatever. So round robin, I think, is fine. So we can just connect that, and then we need to set it up here on the other side as well for the Syrtis Quartz seed. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the export bus. We're gonna hook it up to a cable. Actually, no, we're gonna wait. We're gonna add a cable there. We're gonna add a level emitter, and we're gonna control this for the pure Syrtis quartz. There we go. Why don't we just set it to 1,000? We're getting Syrtis quartz anyway, and pure Flukes, this is just gonna loop itself until it makes 1,000. So I think it's fine if I can reach it. Nice. So let's just do 1,000, because you know where it's gonna be needed, and probably after this 1,000, it's never gonna be needed to make again or something like that. So export bus over here. We need the redstone card, crafting card, capacity card. Redstone needs to be active with signal. We need to export Syrtis, glowstone, and then we can do round robin. And we can add a cabling here, and then that other top part needs to be connected as well. So we need to add another glass or a conduit over there to connect the level emitter. So there we go. That should start exporting glowstone, as you can see, and it should start exporting Syrtis quartz seeds as soon as it makes some Syrtis quartz dust. There goes the seeds, and the seeds will get tossed in there. And I'm just gonna toss the rest of these seeds in here. The glowstone drawer here has a reduced storage to a single stack, so it's not gonna make more than a single stack of seeds at any point. Well, it's gonna make 2 stacks because one of them is gonna lay in here. And you're out of water because I removed this guy. There we go, now you have water. Go do your thing now. Wonderful. So that's just gonna process and craft, and there we go. It's importing, so it should complete. One other thing that we need to add here, I don't really wanna have storage buses on this. I could, because I have space on the side that I can cover with facades, but I think it's fine if we store it in the system. We have plenty of types. I mean, it's gonna be 2 extra channels. Is that really too cumbersome for my system? Because we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 channels here, 6 channels possibly there. We have no channels really going into this one. You know what? It's fine if we use storage buses. So let's grab just this Yeta wrench, and let's get rid of this, 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 and this. I was exporting it into the system. So if we look here, we have some Flukes, some pure Flukes here. So why don't we just add a recipe for storage buses? We can do, okay, we do not have everything for the recipes. So let's add a piston recipe. We have planks already, so that's fine. We can toss that in there. Then let's add a sticky piston, which is gonna be a slime ball, a skystone, and a piston. Ooh, I'm gonna have to make, I have some skystone, probably enough for the pack. That, and then we can add a storage bus. We have an interface recipe, so that should be fine. We can toss that in here, and we can request an bus. We have one, and we need one more. There we go. That should complete fairly quickly. There we go. Lovely. I have enough cabling for this, so we can do one of those, a cable here, and a cable here. Will that actually get channels through that? Oh, it does. Okay. Well, that's fine. That works, I guess. Cool. We can cover it with some facades in a moment. I think I have just these. Let's use the hardened stone facade. So let's grab some anchors. I know they're called anchors, but it's more fun to say anchors. Ah, my A key keeps getting stuck on my keyboard. Unhardened stone. Let's make me just 32 facades. We're gonna need them in the future, so we can toss one here, one there, and then we can grab some cobblestone, 2 pieces. Actually, we don't need that. We're just gonna make, are you gonna give it to me? Thank you, game. We just need another thermal mediator. That I think is not a difficult recipe to make, so we can just make a couple iron gears. I should be auto-crafting all of this, but I think it's fine. There we go. And if we put you here, you should automatically get water, and that should increase the speed of this guy. I think we might have to set like an output side, I guess. No, you only set inputs. Yeah, just input sides. Yeah. Okay. So that's gonna help increase the speed of this. I added some augments into both of these, so they're a tiny bit faster now. And that should just process and get us 1,000 pure Flukes. Every so often, it's gonna extract a Flukes crystal to make more seeds whenever the thing requests it. I don't know why it's not doing it now. Because I changed the seed recipe, right? Did I not? Or is this still the... that's Flukes dust and sand. That should be fine. If we toss it back in here. And the Flukes dust should be pure Flukes, right? Yeah. We can request that. That should get pulverized. And we should get another seed. I don't know why it's not requesting it right now. Are you... And it's very difficult to get on the inside of this, so I think I have to go from the top to actually check. And here we have all of the interfaces. So we need to do a little bit of something like this. You're doing your thing. You have an export crafting card, round robin. You know what? I'm gonna do this instead of round robin, because I think it could get stuck on doing glowstone, but I think this way we should have it fixed. I think round robin is what might have been causing the issues, so we can break that, do that, and that. Are you getting seeds now? I think you are. And hopefully it is going to get more seeds. I hope. I don't know. We'll see. If it doesn't get sorted out, I'll try and fix it off camera. From here on out, if you see any abrupt cuts, is because there's construction in the apartment up above and I can't do anything about it. So if there's noise, I apologize. So let's continue on, and we can make Flukes Crystals by dropping charred Syrtis, redstone, and nether quartz in a pool of water, and that will turn into Flukes. And I have everything pretty much that I need. I need an export bus, and we can turn off just the export bus to drop, so we need a level emitter as well. I set up a recipe for that over here. I also have another machine here. We have the energetic infuser. We need to set you on push and pull on top. Auto input enable doesn't really matter, but we have a recipe here that will create one charred Syrtis quartz with one Syrtis quartz crystal. So if we want to, let's say, do charged, we can say 10, like so, and that should put in 10 charred Syrtis quartz and get that charged up, which is lovely. So I need to find a spot for where I want to automate this, and I think we can just do it back here. We kind of have the backside here, so we can just put a block down somewhere so we can actually put a pool of water down. Because I think I wanted to have machines here from AE. You know what we could do? We have a facade here. I mean, we could put it in a corner somewhere and just have a dropper up there. Do we even have space up there? I think we do. We could have like a water source on top of here and then just drop it in here, pick it up from behind, have the dropper up top on there. I think that's fine. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So let me grab some building blocks, and I need a facade as well, one of these, and then just some cobblestone, some of this. There we go. So we can put the facade down there. Oh, we actually need another one. Facade. There we go. And we can come down here as well and build another block behind to put in the water. We're gonna go here and we're gonna set up this ranged collector. I think it's fine, and we're gonna whitelist. We need to whitelist the Syrtis quartz, and I have an interface there. I'm thinking on how we can import the items. We could add the ranged collector somewhere back here. And I think we have a way to get to our cables like back here somewhere. Oh, here's the edge of this. But we can go back here, for example, and we can just insert into this interface. I have it on the red channel, so we can put, let's say, the ranged collector here. So it's hidden behind. We can whitelist it for Flukes, if I have still some. Oh, one left. There we go, perfectly. I think it's being extracted into these to make more seeds. So we're going to whitelist Flukes crystals. And we're going to then say conduit, go here, here, there in the back, there. Actually, just get it out of there. Oops. Can you give me that conduit, please? Thank you very much. So we're just going to go like this and like this. And that should be hooked up. We can then extract on red. We don't need an insert on this guy. So that should be good. And if we have Flukes Crystals here, it should be extracted and put into the interface and into the system. So that's lovely. Then we need to put down a water source right here. We're going to put a precision dropper here. And then I need to get up top to hook this up. So the dropper is where? You're right there in the corner. Oh, hello. Okay, so right here. We need power to come up to here somewhere. So where do we have power access? I think we can run conduits from the middle. We're gonna need power here anyway at some point. So let's just do this like we did on the bottom floor. Even though I could probably just run the conduit from the back here. Yeah, that's gonna be easier. Let's just not do that. I'm gonna get rid of that in a moment, but let's just run it from here. So we can, I think we're gonna have machines like right here anyway. So let's just do that and then bring the conduit up to the top there. And I can't now get in, so let's do that. And then set up the dropper right here. Okay, we need this impulse hopper because this guy is really sweet. You can specify which 3 or however many items, which is 6 you want, and it will only move them over once you have everything in there. So if we have, let's say, some of that, and then as soon as we get a quartz, it's gonna move 3 over, which is gonna be really cool. So then we need to set this guy to push into here, and then we need an export bus back here. Can I even reach there? I can. Export bus, ME conduit, and I'm making wire spaghetti, which is lovely. So over here, we're gonna put some cards. So let's go downstairs and make some. So we're gonna need card, a couple sets of these, I believe, because then we need a capacity card, we need a crafting card, and we also need a redstone card. Because the crafting card has to request the Syrtis quartz or the chart Syrtis from there. The redstone card is gonna do the redstone control, because I want to turn it off here. I think that should be much better. So we're gonna grab that cable for the moment. We're gonna put you there. Then we need a level emitter. That's always a fun part to get to. So let's do like this. Not a conduit facade, but a painted cobble. Keep placing all the wrong things. There we go. So that should be good. And we can put a conduit up here to connect that up. And we can set that up for Flukes, but I don't have Flukes just yet. So let's just do... Oh, magnet's gonna become a problem. 1, 2, 3. Why are you still magnet? Did I pick it up because it was too close? There we go. That made Flukes. And it went into the system, I think. Okay. So if we set up Charred Syrtis, redstone, nether quartz, and we do round robin. We should get another quartz. Those 3 should get pushed over and made into Flukes. Lovely. So that system's complete. The only problem is going to be my magnet, because I can't really easily turn it off unless I have a mana pool and a soldagnolia over here. So I guess we can use the ring of magnetization, could be a thing from actual editions, but that's fine. So let's go downstairs and grab a Flukes crystal. Now that we have it in the system, there we go. And we can set this guy to be, let's say, 512 Flukes crystals, and we're going to emit when levels are below limit. So the sky is going to be only active with signal, and it's going to extract everything with round robin. I'm going to toss in some of the chart Syrtis and the redstone just to fill it up. And then we should be good on that. I think it's... What are you doing now? Are you making Flukes? Kind of. I think everything got broken here. So there we go. Let's do that. And I'm going to go down here and pick up this. Oh, I think it's pushing only one item at a time. Okay, let's grab all of this out. Hold on. Let's active with signal. There we go. I'm going to wait for this to export everything and get it filled up. because I think the charger is going to keep up with that. One thing that we could do is have a conduit up here and say allow only one of each of the items in here and do extract with round robin, but I think it's going to be okay. What if we do this? I don't know how it, because it's only pushing. Okay, so what does this say? Stops the impulse hopper from sorting items into the output slots if there are items in there already. Yeah, that's what I kind of want. But stop putting items into here if there's already items in there. Because currently we're dropping just like a bunch of Syrtis quartz. Okay, I need to fix this. I just had to clear out the backlog. I did actually nothing, but it is working, as you can see. We get a redstone, a Syrtis, and a charged Syrtis. I mean, redstone nether quartz and charged Syrtis quartz, and that makes a Flukes. So we should be having an increasing number of Flukes crystals in the system. Nice. And that's going to make 500 of those, and that should be fine. We're going to run out of nether quartz fairly quickly. So I think the next order of business is to sort that out. So we need to automate this contraption down here, which is going to be interesting because I have very little space behind. So we're going to see how we can do that. Because I need to... Yeah. So if we get one of those block detectors, these guys... I make a dark steel pressure plate, and then we're gonna also make it silent. There we go. So I figured out that down here we wouldn't have enough space to do any sort of redstone control, so I managed to get it sorted over here, and we're gonna reset up our stone processing system for making ores, because we want more wub gems, I assume, at some point. I don't know how the bedrock miner works, but whatever. We can just leave this running for a while. But over here, we have a placer, which is always going to have just 4 sand inside, courtesy of this limited item filter. We have a drawer that is going to be always full of a stack of sand, courtesy of this export bus, if we don't have 512 soul sand in the system. And then as soon as the sand is placed, we turn off that torch and pulse the, turn on the torch and pulse the atomic reconstructor. And that turns it into soul sand, and then we go with the redstone here, turn this torch on, and then 1 tick later we break it with this repeater over here, and we have a storage bus here for the soul sand, so that is all stored, and an exporting cable over here to put it in the drawer. So that's really nice. It works, it's functional, it's automated, I love it. So we can then take some conduit facades and cover this and this up, and over here we are gonna have some more painted cobblestone. Over the top here we need some facades as well. I didn't actually show you this, but I automated obsidian, so we're always going to have 2,000 of it in the system, and this breaker is just going to be turned off as soon as we have more than 2,000, which is really nice. And then I have a storage bus on top of there, so that is really cool. We can also add, let's say, this over here, and that turns a wonderful system into a lovely thing. Even though I would rather have this... You know what? Now that I think about it, I have 3x3 spaces here, and this is a 3x3 machine, and I put it in a 2x2 space. Okay, let me move this and also the other stone maker, and we're gonna put them in one of these 2 corners. Just set up both of them here. I hope I can get all the automation, and I don't think it will interact with each other, no, because we can just do the repeaters like this, and then the repeaters like this, and that should be fine. Alright, both of these machines have been moved and all fully automated. As you can see, we're even auto-crafting the stone. And what I changed on this side is the export bus is set to do not use stocked items and only craft items while exporting. So what we're doing up here is taking stone and cooking it, or taking cobblestone and cooking it into stone with the redstone furnace. And that is then exporting over here and turning into ores. And I decided to not use the annihilation plane. I can just use the breaker because we can't silk touch the drops anyway because the annihilation plane doesn't work properly. So over here, we're just exporting 1 stone at a time, and the detector is for 16 wub gems. So it's just gonna keep on processing cobblestone, which we kind of have an infinite amount, even though we're not necessarily generating it right now, but we have 122,000, and we can just toss a cobblestone generator back here and toss an importer or a cable onto there, so that should be fine. But we're way overdue for the end of this episode. So with that, I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'm hoping you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, make sure to hit the like button. You can also subscribe to see new videos. You can support me on Patreon as well if you want. And I will see you all in the next episode. Have a great one. Bye-bye.